Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Coline Witt, and today we have a very special guest. We have Butta from Keep It Run 100. Not 100, but Run 100. What do you have us eating today?
Today, we're having good old Hot Pockets. You know, you can't go wrong with them. Just kick, grab, and go. You know, everybody loves a good Hot Pocket.
A little backstory, I was like, what do you want to eat? What do you want to cook for us? And you were just like, I don't cook. This is the second guest in a row that just has no idea how to cook. And we went back and forth. Of course, you know, you did give me the option for ramen, but we here at Eating While Broke, we know ramen is a very popular dish. So unless you have a special twist to your ramen, you do not get to cook it on our show.
I could have made you what's called spread, but that's a whole nother story.
We actually had the spread before. It was like a jail experience in a garbage bag. I will never forget that episode. Shout outs to Aja from Compton, right? She's Compton. Now you do We Keep It Run 100, and your focus is South Central.
My focus is just activity, period. It's not really a certain area. I'm from South Central. I do runs in Inglewood, Culver City, and just all different parts of LA. But I am from South Central, an underserved community, and running is something that's just not the norm where I'm from. So for me to find a passion in this and be able to give it back to my people and get people going has been one of the most amazing journeys I've ever been on.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a bite of these Hot Pockets, bring you back to nostalgia lane.
Oh, man. This was nice and warm.
Yeah. Hopefully yours
you going to bite into yours or you going to tear yours?
All right. Just for you listeners, he actually asked for like a fork and knife. And I said, is that how you ate it?
I'm a gentleman.
And I said, if that's not how you ate it, that's not how we're eating it.
Okay, well, enjoy.
It's great. Mine is cold.
Mine is still warm.
Damn, I should have chose yours out.
Well, no. Pepperoni.
I want to see this cheese stretch. No, yours looks good.
Mine is warm. Listen.
Okay.
That's better?
Way better. So, take me back to the Hot Pocket days.
I mean, the Hot Pocket days are still very present. You know, I'm not, I don't forget where I came from. But no.
I don't know if anyone ever graduates past the Hot Pocket phase. As long as they're in your freezer, that is a smooth day when you're hungry walking in the house.
For sure. Throw them in the microwave real fast.
But take me back before the casual Hot Pockets.
Just growing up as a kid in South Central, you know, I did a bunch of different things. I played sports my whole life, and just growing up, trying to maneuver through my community isn't the easiest thing to do. But you know, as we go through our 20s, I'm 39 now, so trying to figure out a way. Things get tough sometimes, you know, and sometimes you may not have, or you're working towards that life that you want. So there is some struggle in that. So in that, I was, you know, enjoying Hot Pockets, ramen, you know.
In your 20s, what were you striving for? Like, what was your ultimate goal?
In my 20s, I was working production, so I wanted to do something in like television production. That I did it for some years. Kind of got tired of it. Transitioned into multiple jobs after that. I had my daughter at 30, which kind of forced me to grow up and really become a man. And then running started around that time as well. And you know, with time and with age and maturity, things just get better. You know, because you're in a different headspace and you're able to, you know, and having a child, you have to figure it out. So.
So what happened at 29, where 29, you're working television production. Did you end up quitting television production to provide better for your daughter? Or like, what was that transitional point when she came?
So in that, I left production. I started driving buses, gave me more security, you know, health benefits, things, you know what I'm saying, things like that. And so many things that happened in that time too.
When you say buses, like public
Yeah,
transportation?
public transportation.
You don't have to get a special license for that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I got one.
So you were like, you know what? Forget this television
Yeah,
production.
because
I need more stability.
Yeah, I needed more stability. So,
Okay.
because television was more freelance, you know, and then I went into the driving the bus situation, which lasted some years, but then that ran its course as well.
And then where did your running enter the picture?
I was doing it as a hobby,
Okay.
and then running was just something I did just to be active. It wasn't something that I planned on doing like for the rest of my life.
And when did other people start getting involved in your running?
At about 34, 35, 2018, 2019. So.
Okay. This is right before the pandemic?
Yeah. So let's say. So I started my run club 2018. We picked up a lot of buzz throughout the remainder. Cause I started in April, so from April to like November, the numbers were growing. I started with 8 people. We were eventually getting 100 people out at, by the fall.
And this is all in South Central, or?
I was actually doing it in Manhattan Beach in Culver City at the time. So expanding in those areas, because in South Central running isn't the easiest thing to do, especially in a group setting. You know, because it's not like you could just pull up to some random park with a bunch of people, and because that's just not how the area works.
Because of what?
Like gang activity and things like that. You know, because everybody seems to think they own a certain area, so you just can't pull up to.
So you were telling people that lived in South Central pull up to Manhattan Beach to run, and they were doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you were enjoying running, and you said, you know what, I'm gonna do a run club, and then the 8 people joined, or were you slowly?
No, I mean I was just running with like me and a buddy of mine. Me and a buddy of mine, we actually trained for my first marathon, the fall of 2017. So I ran it March 2018. So 2018, that's when I fell in love with running. It was like I wanted everyone to experience the feelings that I had from it. So I started my run club 2 weeks after that marathon, and.
When you first started running, you weren't in love with it? You kind of morphed into a love?
It was just it was a hobby at first. And then, like I said, pushing my body with my mind past barriers I had on myself, thinking I couldn't do 10 miles or 12 miles or 15 miles. And when you're knocking down those walls, you feel like you can continue to go forever because it's more mental than anything. So, the mental toughness and fortitude you get from that, can't even be explained. People, you have to kind of do it to really understand, what I'm saying, because a lot of people put like limits on themselves. Like I can't, I would never run a marathon. I used to think the same way, but now it's.
What's the biggest marathon you ran?
I recently last month I ran the New York Marathon. That's the absolute biggest marathon in the world.
How many miles is that?
26.2. So a full marathon is 26.2. I've done it 10 times.
Okay, and then how long does it take you to do that?
On average, like 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours? Are you what pace are you at?
I'm at a pretty good pace. I'm at a,
It's like a fast jog?
No, it's a run. So it's about
You run for 26 miles straight, no breaks. Do you carry a water pack?
No, I mean like along the route there's like
pit stops?
Yeah, like there's water stations, there's people giving you stuff. Like it's in New York, the greatest marathon I've ever ran in my life. But the energy was crazy. It's people everywhere. Like they shut down the entire city. You run through all 5 boroughs.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know that.
You run through all 5 boroughs. So it's people lining the street the entire way.
Wow.
So it's
And then what borough do they end in?
You end in Central Park.
Oh, okay.
So you start in Staten Island. And and then Central Park. So.
Do they actually have a winner in the marathon?
Yeah.
Like a first and second and third?
Yeah. And they make a lot of money.
I didn't even know there's money in marathons.
There's
like how much does a New York marathon run?
Like 100,000, I want to say.
What? 26 miles? I think I may need to start.
About 3 or 4 hours out of your day,
Yeah, but you gotta dang. So is there a marathon winner that is notorious in the industry? Who is it?
Elliot Kipchoge. He's the GOAT. He's actually ran the fastest marathon ever.
What was his?
It was under 2 hours, so he's the first one to run 1:59. He's the first one to run it under 2 hours.
26 miles?
26 miles.
Jeez.
So it's like a 4-minute pace, or like 4-some-minute pace the entire way.
He don't take no breaks.
He don't take no breaks.
Have you met him?
I met him last month in New York.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he would ever come and like check out what you're doing?
I think he would.
Yeah.
We are aligned in some way with the Nike connection. So
Okay.
if he's ever in town, maybe he'll pull up on my run club someday.
So you decide to build this run club. 8 people show up. What are your peers saying at the time when you're like, I'm running my run club. I got 8 people
No, so
starting.
it wasn't even a run club. It was just me gathering my friends.
Okay.
Like let's get you healthy. Let's just get active. So we were doing like 2 miles, 1 mile, like an out and back.
Okay.
And it was cool because like people were seeing what I was doing, and because I would document it on Instagram and things like that, and people would just want to get active with me and get healthy. So my friends it started growing organically. Like if I told you, you tell somebody else. Next thing we went from 8, to 12, then 12 to 15. Like so it's just a gradual growth, and then people start seeing it. And it's community. I'm big on preaching community because, especially with my group and runners of color, I have the most reluctant group of people to want to run because of whatever, like, we feel as though running is punishment. Because growing up playing sports, basketball, football, and things like that, when you get in trouble, you're told to run. So, like, when you get older, you're like, I'm not going to run because it's kind of like some trauma in a way. So,
you were late. Go run a lap.
Exactly. So now you have to do things like this, like just for one, stay healthy. We're combating COVID, high blood pressure, heart, so many just different things. Yeah. So an active lifestyle helps with that. And with community, it helps even more because Black people don't get together in large numbers unless we're consuming alcohol. So to get together weekly to do something positive and, impact each other, motivate, support each other, feels great.
I think it's important to work out in groups. One of my close friends is Daystorm Power. I don't know if you know about him. He's an influencer on social media, but he does these brutal ass workouts. They're absolutely ridiculous. They're 100% free. It's just, I want to join. And it's absolute hell on wheels. But he'll do a whole, like in his brain, he has a plan, and there are moments where you say, I don't necessarily agree with this plan. But then it's like he has a plan to prepare you for the nightmare that he has planned for you. Okay. So like there was a
setup.
Yeah, it was a setup. So like all year you're like, first of all, the amount of weight you lose running is it's highly noticeable. And then so he trained us, and then one day he was like, you're gonna run these 3 hills. And we're like, 3 hills. Anyways, you run it and you're able to because he's done trained you. But then one day randomly, I was like, you know what? I haven't ran these hills in so long. And I just pulled up on them hills and I tried to run it and I said, he was fucking nuts. He was nuts because you did have to train to prepare to run those.
For sure.
And these weren't little hills. These were like nightmares.
Everything in life is about preparation.
Yeah. And it took a long time to prep for that.
For sure.
So how consistent are your meetups?
We meet weekly. So 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday nights, and Sunday mornings. So.
And then where is it at?
Tuesday night we meet in Inglewood. We meet in Culver City at Veterans Park at 7 p.m. Thursday night, Sip and Sonder Coffee Shop in Inglewood, 7 p.m. And 6:30 a.m. on Sunday mornings at Delray Lagoon in Playa Del Rey.
Now, does someone have to start at the same start date to join your group?
No, you can come anytime. Like it's you can come whenever you like. It's free of charge. Like I said, it's more community than opposed to like a training program. To where if you don't make it here by this day that you can't run with us. No, like come whenever you feel like it.
But how long are the runs?
3 miles.
So what if someone comes, it's their first day, and they can only run a mile?
So I have a walking component as well. So the walk, my mom's out there every week leading the walk. So it's like I said, just getting your body moving. It's you got to tell people to bring kids, bring their parents.
That
and
was
their
my
elders.
next question. What do you do if you have a toddler? I have a toddler that just started walking.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Bring them with a stroller, running stroller preferably.
Okay. You could do like a backpack, or no, that doesn't work?
It probably hurt the kid.
For
like with the kid bouncing all over the place. I wouldn't advise that.
Okay.
But No, I have a stroller. I mean, if you have a stroller, bring it. And then if you want to walk, go ahead. So, if you're up for it, I'd have one of my guys on my team push the stroller for you, so you could put your work
And
in.
kids actually sit in the stroller. My daughter
Yeah.
treats her stroller like a surfboard. Like the second I put her in it, she's like, surf time. I have to like tie her down in that thing.
No, the kids love it because they're seeing all these people moving, and they're just being pushed along for the ride. So
Yeah, and they're going at a fast speed, right?
For sure. So
Okay, I'm gonna remember this.
pull up.
Yeah.
Pull
So
up.
if they're doing 6:30 in the morning, I'm guessing they're done before church.
Yeah.
Like by 9.
We're done by 9. So Sunday is more for our longer runs. That's more of our training day for marathons or just people to help people get better with distance. Because if I told you go run 6 miles, you're not gonna do it by yourself. So I create this space to where we'll help you reach whatever goal you're trying to get to. So
Okay. Now, your daughter is involved in your.
she comes out from time to time. It's for me, it's a tough balance to be the leader of the run club and be a dad at the same time because I have
Because you have to
so many people I have to kind of keep an eye on. So trying to keep an eye
keep
on.
a microphone?
No, we're just run through the streets and have a team that helps guide and direct and have like team leads and things like that. But to try to keep an eye on 100 people as well as my kid is not the easiest thing to do. So.
Now, when did Nike get involved?
2018, 2019, late 2018, 2019, early 2019. A really good friend of mine, Carmelita Jeter, former Olympian, fastest woman in the world. She connected me with them. So I always want to show her love and give her a shout out. She connected me with them as just a way to get free products, shoes, some gear, whatever. And then they seen what I had going on with the community, got behind it. And it's been a great relationship ever since.
Now, was your run club a nonprofit or was it?
No, it's not. It's not a nonprofit.
So Nike was just like, I'm gonna sponsor it.
For sure, there's in a very supportive role. So we do events throughout the year. We've done huge events. They've shut down Crenshaw Boulevard for us, and they've shut down the whole city of Inglewood for us to do just different runs and things like that.
Nike will go ahead and
I mean Nike, and I have relationships with other people as well. Who my thing is just putting together community. Giving people that space to just run in the communities that they think that they can't. So
in South Central, they're now running.
South Central, Inglewood, Compton, all the a lot of inner city neighborhoods. So we got a lot of people active and moving now.
But are they running in that community?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And so you were like pivotal in that because originally you started in Manhattan Beach.
Yes, I started in Manhattan Beach because.
The neighborhood was.
Gathering in the inner city, like parks and things like that, isn't the easiest because
of the gangs.
The gangs and so pulling up. Not even if I went to a park and told you meet me at a park, and you're from the other side of town, you're like, I'm not coming over there. That's not that's not my neck of the woods, or they don't get along with the side of town that I'm from. So I'm not going to that park. So I had to take it to an area where everyone felt very safe and willing to want to come out. So I started in Manhattan Beach, then went to Culver City. Now our biggest run is in Inglewood, which is an underserved community as well. So
so when Nike gets involved with your organization, I want to kind of get into like the meat of you going from I'm creating this group to now I have to transform it into like an organization / business. Did you have a business background?
No. So that's the funny part. I started this is just like I said, just getting my friends moving. So when it started growing and people were like, you need to come up with a name, or you need to get your trademark and things like that. I'm like, I'm not expecting any of this. Like I didn't have a blueprint of like how any of this worked. So eventually I did go get my company trademarked, and that's my stamp now. So nobody could take it from me.
But trademarking it, when Nike comes along, trademarking doesn't necessarily make it where you and Nike could do business. At some point, you had to do like a corporation.
I mean, no. We so Nike. So that's always like the big question, like interviews. But like we have the understanding that we have I myself am an athlete, and they're a supportive role to keep it 100. If that makes sense. So,
Okay.
yeah, so it's not like Nike is like we're under the umbrella and they're like they're who like cashes me out monthly for whatever. So that's not how it works. When we do events, we have our understanding of how that works, but I make my own money however that is.
Do you have to have other jobs while you're doing keep run 100? You're not. Are you still doing busing or no?
No. I'm full run. Like everything is running. Like that's everything for me. So, you
but
know.
making that transition couldn't have been that smooth.
It wasn't, but everything. So
what was the pivotal moment where you quit busing?
So I left busing and actually went. It's funny because I was working at I left busing to work at the Anheuser-Busch right here. So I was there for some time.
And what were you doing there?
I was fermenting beer. Fermentation is a very important process of beer making. Great job, great money, but like all I wanted to do was run. So, I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like I was going to work, making the money, but not seeing my kid or being able to spend money on my kid. So what's the money gonna do? So I really decided I had to bet on myself and just trust and follow my passion, which was running. And in that space, I gave it 2 years just to see where it could take me.
And where were you living on? Savings at the time?
Savings, hustling, just
Was your child's mother like supporting?
Yeah,
or
I mean, like we worked well together in the space. Like I'm always able to make some money. But in the process of like trying to get your own thing started, it requires sacrifice, and you have to, try to figure it out. So I gave myself 2 years. My mentality was always, I can always get a job. If this doesn't work out, I can go back to work. But I never wanted to sit with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Like I could have stayed at the job, and now it's 5 years later, and been like, damn, if I'd have started my run club,
so what did that 2 years look like?
It was actually a good, like it was a growing time. It wasn't like there was some struggle there. Of course, it would be, but.
Because it seems like a year into your business, the pandemic, or 2 years hit. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, you start the business, pandemic hits. I just want to understand.
So I started 2018, pandemic hit 2020. So, I was able to, like, really stay afloat just with, like, different connections and, relationships I've had with just different brands, selling merch, doing, like, finding other ways to just make money happen. But in that, too, like, money isn't a big issue for me. Being genuinely fulfilled, happiness, success to me is in service. So me being able to help my community, help hundreds and thousands of people through running, like pays me in ways that people will never understand. So like money isn't my driving force at all.
No, that's good. I'm just trying to figure out how you survived.
I don't know. Like I said, just
was it hot pockets or?
Oh yeah, we survived. Yeah, we survived. Like we made it. Like we made it make sense. I was never broke. Like I was never in a position to be like, damn, like if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna be on the street. I have a very strong support system. Like I said, we had tough times. We had to do the hot pockets and the noodles. But it's now that I'm on a in a better space. Like I still dabble, with the broke food. But
what did you do to survive the pandemic with a run club? Like how did you keep the brand alive?
The first 2 months, people were still meeting up, which I was like totally against. But
were you there when they were meeting up?
But people are still people needed that community.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who run with me aren't from LA. So like they're here with no family or no support system. So like they needed that space to.
Were they primarily black or were they?
Like majority black.
Okay.
But like depression is real, and all type of things. In this, like people were telling me how they were on the verge of when we couldn't meet. They, thought about suicide and things like that. So they needed that space to be able to come together with other people and make them feel better. So after about 2 or 3, let's say 3 or 4 months, we got back out there together, and it was, it was like clockwork. We got back to the way, what we had been doing.
Were they running with masks at this point?
Everybody was running with masks and things like that. There was still hesitation and with like meeting up and like gathering and things like that, but we weathered the storm.
Okay.
So
now at your meetups, do you guys do any type of talking?
yeah. So I speak. I make announcements. I create a space at the end of the run where people are. It's like a networking space. So if it's 80 people here, so everybody in here does something. If you're a mechanic or a barber or, you know what I'm saying, you're able to just put your business on display and share with the group because you never know who may need it, or who can help you, you can help them or things like that. So that's probably one of the best parts of the run.
Okay, so at the end, everybody's like, "This is what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
If you need my services, that's great. That's
Yeah.
that's a free marketing and healthy marketing
For sure.
experience."
Like people have like written books and the group has bought their books. People bring like, people make healthy juices. People bring, so it's a very supportive community.
I like that. I like that. So you're embracing other entrepreneurs too. Do you guys, you also, in addition to Keep It 100, you also have WROK. Can you talk about that?
So WROK, WROK, We Raise Our Kids. It's a nonprofit me and a buddy of mine started in 2017, just to show that and highlight, positive fathers, positive Black fathers, in just those spaces. Like we're doing picnics, father-daughter dances, father-son brunches, just to show that, there are dope dads out here, despite, some of the, negative things that you may see or hear about dads. We love our kids, so we are very present and try to, create the best lives for them, and we want that on display.
Do you feel like that a lot of the mission was because Black dads tend to be targeted as or painted as the non-present dads?
Yeah, because me and my boy, like a lot of people who are a part of us. Of WROK, they were fatherless. They grew up fatherless, so they're striving to just change the narrative. And like we as dads, we will go out together and just try to build as men. So that space was and still is a very important part of my life.
Okay, perfect. How old's your daughter now?
She's 8.
She's 8.
8, going on 28.
How often are you meeting up with WROK?
We haven't done much since the pandemic, just because everybody's life just shifted a little bit. But we will be back 2023.
Okay, and then for men that aren't present in their child's life, is there anything you feel like you can do to bring that presence back?
I try to highlight it with my actions with my kid, just to kind of show that this is fun. Like I love being a dad. So like I post her every day and show us hanging out and things like that. And just show people like the having a kid and being a part of your kid's life is a very exciting situation. Like I get, everybody's circumstance and situation is different because of whatever reason it may be, but I just try to, have and show men that, like, if you haven't picked up your kid, go get her or go get him or her this weekend, because like watching them grow and become their own person is a dope thing to see.
But why do you think that those males are not present?
I mean, that's their own situations,
But I'm saying, like, what have the reasons been that you're aware of?
Issues with the mom or, some in parenting. Sometimes I feel like some people just aren't meant to be parents. Like that's just not. And that doesn't mean that you don't show up for your kids, but some people just don't have what it takes. So some men kind of just stray away because, they feel as though they aren't ready, or they, which is a sucky.
Or do you think it's like the evils? Like I try to understand the whole dad not present thing, and you have to acknowledge statistics.
Sure.
A guy that grows up in a home without his dad has a higher chance of not raising his kid, as much as he hates it.
Right.
So you have to acknowledge statistics. And then you also have to acknowledge, systematically, obviously, our culture has painted this image of, sex, drugs, and alcohol is the ultimate king. There's nothing more fun than sex, drugs, and alcohol. Like, who wants to change a diaper when, this vixen is over here in your DMs?
The fun is over there.
The fun is over here, and your kid starts to feel more like an obligation.
Right.
So it's like, I just wonder when I see organizations like how do you not just change the narrative of, oh, I'm a great dad on, because there's great dads
For
that
sure.
post their kids. When I say great dads, I say in
For sure.
quotations. Like,
The
I
Instagram
love nothing more than hearing a girl say, oh, look, he posted his kid that he hasn't seen in a week. Or,
Right.
you know, he returned the kid and the rash was like literally outrageously over the top. But hey, guess what? He's got 2,000 likes for posting his kid.
Right.
So it's that I just asked that question because it's great that you represent like the great dads,
Right.
but at the end of the day, like, what are we doing to get to the root of the problem?
For sure.
If we don't even understand the root.
For sure.
You know,
a good point.
Because for every angry baby mama I've ever seen, she's always had a valid point
Right.
or valid, like her validity in her complaints is like so real. It's like, was she really difficult or was it like
Right.
there was a lot of validity there?
Like all the things that did you take yourself? I mean, did you hold yourself accountable? A lot of guys don't.
I think men. There's a book, I keep shouting it out. Hopefully, we'll have him on the show. There's this book, Male versus Men.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about it a lot on the show. I read it by Dondre Whitfield. And it kind of talks about like men just need accountability systems. They need mentors. And sure. I think more so than like Instagram posts or like, you know, dates. They just like, if you see a guy that is not headed down that path, maybe taking the time to say, I choose you to befriend you because for whatever reason, and kind of be that mentor, that guiding point. Because at the end of the day, my mom used to always say, like, if you show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. 9 out of 10 times, a guy that's not there for his family, all his friends aren't there for his family. So you could be that one person that's like, you know what? I choose you.
Right.
You know? And I think that's something that people in general, like, you don't need an organization to do. You can just say, you know what? I'm going to choose this random guy on the block, and that's going to be my homie. Right. And we're not alike, but we're going to be friends.
We
and,
can grow to, learn one another and become,
and who knows, you know?
Right, you never know where that initial conversation could take you with somebody.
Yeah. So. I don't see a lot of people be like, oh, you want to be my friend? I don't want to be your friend.
Right.
Get out of my... What? You hang out with your kid on the weekends? Right. I want to be your friend. Like, I also have a beautiful girl and or a beautiful girlfriend or a great relationship with my baby mama, you know? But I think, I would like to see where WROK goes. I hope that baby seed was planted.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You like that?
I like that. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Because it's a deep issue. It goes a lot deeper than just, I think, the external of spending time with your kids.
For sure. Like it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time, yeah. I think you picked up one of the hardest. Like when I hear WROK, I'm like, yo, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. So do I think as creating a run club is hard.
For sure.
So where do you see the run club going from here?
So we spoke earlier. We spoke a little bit about nonprofit. So 2023, I will be, I will be going down the nonprofit route. Mm-hmm. So that would create just different avenues for me in the club. But no, I want to make just running an activity, a huge thing across the world. Like it is now, but like I would love to keep 100 in every major city across the globe. So, growth and expansion is what I'm working on.
And you guys create your own marathons, right?
No.
Are you going to?
Yeah. So like that's definitely a plan in the future to create one for LA, South Central LA. Like run one through the area where I grew up.
How does someone go about creating a marathon?
Talks with the city, mapping it out and funding. So many things involved. So I have a really good relationship with some of the city councilmen. And I was actually just speaking with them.
Is that current price in your city, or is that city? Who is it?
Harris Dawson.
Okay.
So I've done events with him all throughout this year. So
okay.
We actually just spoke about, and I hope I'm not putting out there too soon, but we talked about a possibility of trying to make a marathon route through the inner city. That
would be great.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. And then does the city pick up the bill on that, or would you guys have to? Or is that something you guys have to?
We got to figure out in time. It's still in in the very, very beginning of the talking stages. We haven't really, I saw him last weekend. So, like I said, it was just something mentioned in conversation, and we can see where we can take it from here.
Okay. So, moving forward, how would people join?
Follow on Instagram first off, at keeping100, or follow me at Barack_Obutta. And everything that we do is posted on the Instagrams. We're very active on the pages. Our schedule is there Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and Sunday mornings. But it's free of charge. Just show up. Come with a willingness to work and a good attitude, and we're gonna get you across that 3 miles.
Okay. And then I know this is kind of backtracking a little bit, but was there ever a point in you creating the Run Club that you wanted to quit?
No, never. This is my thing.
Was it because it's not a top-heavy business, or?
No, this is just, it's really what I was put here to do, put on this earth to do. Like I spoke about impacting other people. It's amazing. So like every time, people hit me telling me they've gotten healthier and they don't have to take their meds anymore, or like they don't have to see the doctor as much. Like those are the wins for me.
Yeah.
So like I said,
do you have a story of someone losing like an astronomical amount of weight?
Listen,
like someone that showed up where you were like,
man, no, people lose weight. Like I had a girl, she was 300 plus pounds. She's probably about 160 now.
Oh, wow.
She's running marathons and just, a mother of 4 that runs with me. She's a multiple time marathon runner.
And she started in your club.
Yep, and people from all walks of life,
Do you tell them how to eat? Because there was a point when I was working out with Daystorm, and they will tell you this. I would eat like a whole sub, and then I'd have like some serious heartburn and like serious struggle throughout the whole workout. Now I'll eat like a salad or a banana, and then I work out.
So I'm not giving nutritional plans and things like that,
but you do guide them if they.
I guide them if they're like, but in life too, there's a balance as well, So if you're gonna put whatever into your body, make sure you work it off. Like you can still have fun and go out and eat the whatever, and partake in some libations, but you got to do the other work on the back end. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So thank you so much for coming to the show and not cooking for us. That's less dishes for me. But definitely tell our listeners how they can catch you, where they can catch you, and keep up, and let us know your scheduling.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. This was fun. Keeping 100 meets Tuesday night, 7 p.m., Veterans Park in Culver City. Thursday night, 7 p.m., Sip and Sonder Coffee Shop in Inglewood. And Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. at Delray Lagoon and Playa Del Rey. So follow us on Instagram at Keeper100. Follow me on Instagram at Barack_Obutta. That's Barack like the president _OBUTTA. Hope to hear from y'all soon.
Yes, and there's no fees to join.
It's free. $3.99. Show up.
They don't have to pre-register either, right?
Just come on.
Just come in your running gear, and they have to bring their own water, right?
Bring water, bring whatever you like. Just bring a willingness to work and a good attitude.
And kids are welcome.
Kids are welcome. Elders are welcome. Walkers.
Walkers are welcome.
I just want you to get your body moving.
Okay. Well, we appreciate having you. Peace out, everybody.
For sure.
My bro.